Welcome guys and gals, welcome to the Wealth Creation series, a channel dedicated to you creating wealth, where we discuss not only just how to invest but how to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself first is the best investment you will ever do. At Wealth Creation series, we look at the whole picture, that is, we look at the things in a holistic way. In order to create wealth, one must be focused, dedicated, driven, and disciplined. Every action you take, every decision you make may have a long lasting consequence on your life. Just knowing this, acknowledging this, and taking control of your life versus just drifting away in life and accepting what life throws at you will make you different from most others. In this video, we are going to look at 8 bad morning habits that you should probably avoid. Not only can some of these be bad for your day to be a productive one, but also some of them can be negative towards your health. And as the old saying goes, health is wealth. Unfortunately, there are certain morning routine habits that you can set up for failure. These habits can negatively impact your focus, motivation, and energy for the rest of the day. So please like this video and subscribe and share this channel as I work very hard on these videos. So let's jump in and get started with the video. Let's start with one of the first habits that I think can really be unproductive, or something that I think could not be the best option for us when we wake up in the morning, because when we start our day, this can be one of the most important things that's going to set track for the rest of the day and how our morning goes. So the first one, here it is. The first on the list is not having proper breakfast or eating an unhealthy breakfast. There used to be a time when I didn't know how important it was to have a breakfast in the morning at the beginning of the day. I cannot state the importance of it. I used to skip breakfast and start the day on low energy. Then before my lunchtime, I would feel so hungry that I would grab any old snack I could lay my hands on, be it healthy or unhealthy. If I didn't have a snack, we all know how it feels to be hungry, and it's not a good feeling. Since you haven't had anything to eat all night long, usually it's a good 12 hours or more before your last meal at night and the breakfast. That is why you should have a heavy breakfast. It should be your largest meal of the day. Also, it's not that you just eat, but what you eat also matters. You should eat food which contains less sugar or processed food, because if you do, you will end up hungry soon and it won't give you enough energy. Sure, the sugar rush might give you an initial boost of energy, but once that wears out, you will crash. Also, not to mention that now you won't be hungry in time for lunch and would push that lunch to a later time. Now you will have a cascading effect. A healthy breakfast is, for me, would be an oatmeal, oats cooked in oat milk and sprinkled with some chia or flax seeds and with some almond butter. There are many healthy recipes out there online which you could Google. The next one on the list is not exercising. Exercise in the morning. This doesn't mean that you have to get up, go out and run miles every morning when you wake up. With most of us working from home now, you should not get to your desk directly from the bed. You don't have to go out and do a full-blown exercise workout as soon as you wake up, but even something as simple as doing like 3 sets of 10 push-ups or 10 minutes jog or stretching exercise will help you feel energized and get you in a positive mood. Meditation for a few minutes in the morning also helps to start your day in a relaxed mode. Okay, so number 3 on things not to do in the morning is getting up at inconsistent timings. I'm still not great at this. I still do wake up a little bit later than what I might have intended to, but creating some type of schedule so that you wake up at a consistent time every morning is going to have such an impact on your life. Most of the time I've been getting up at around 6:30 a.m. which is not particularly early. A lot of people wake up at 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. On the weekend I get lazy too and get up at 8:39ish And that's not right because the body gets confused. The body likes a routine. If you stay up late at night, say studying or partying, the next day you get up late and the next day becomes less productive. You get the point. Sitting straight for hours on end with no physical movement is bad for your body and has negative health effects. Just because you don't commute anymore doesn't mean you should not get any movement. Use this time to do exercise which you would have used to get ready and use it for your commute. Number 4 is planning your day. You should not plan the day on the morning of the day. It's one of the worst habits. That's because if you wake up and then decide to plan your day, you're already losing your daylight hours. It's like being defeated before even you fight. I like to plan everything in advance because I don't like surprises. Planning your day should be done the night before. That way you know exactly what is the next day going to look like. That way you know exactly how much stuff there is to do and if you can fit it all. You make sure there are no conflicts in your scheduling and you have burdened yourself with way too much to do. You don't want to be waking up in the morning and losing time trying to fix these. When you have already planned and prepped for your day the night before, you can go in the morning knowing almost exactly what is going to happen. That prepares your mind to be in a much better position. It just takes a few minutes before you sleep. Simple things like making sure your bag is packed and ready or your clothes are ironed and kept ready for the next day stop you from scrambling and rushing you in the morning. Another rule I use for planning and scheduling my day is following the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, also known as Pareto's principle, asserts that 80% of our outcomes or outputs results from 20% of all the causes or inputs for any given event. In a business, a goal of 80-20 rule is to identify inputs that are potentially the most productive and make them the priority. So while making your schedule, give you priority to the 20% of the work which will have the greatest impact. Number 5 is not hydrating. We wake up in the morning and we don't drink enough liquids. I've noticed it with so many of my friends that they will wake up and they won't drink any water until much later in the afternoon. They drink coffee throughout the day and kind of get addicted to it. You could also drink warm water with a spritz of lime or lemon. It helps your digestive system. It helps you think clearly. There are just lots of benefits to keep yourself hydrated with water. After all, most of our body is made out of water. I rarely drink coffee, maybe twice a year. I don't want to be dependent on anything to make me feel good, and I also end up saving a lot of money, which is what I would be just paying down the drain. The number 6 is hitting the snooze button. I think majority of us already know this, yet we still like to keep hitting the snooze button like 4 or 5 times because we know we are not going to wake up the first 3. And by the time we press the 5th button, we know that we are already late and then we are hurrying to get ready for work and maybe we need to skip our breakfast. So what I do is that I just put my alarm usually on the other side of the room, so it kind of forces me to get up. I can't ignore it because it's a really loud and annoying alarm. I don't use the snooze button, but if I do have to, I just use the snooze button once. That's my rule. After a few days, I got in the habit of not using the snooze button at all. Another strategy I use is that I turn my phone on airplane mode, and so I don't start it until I am at my desk in the morning. This helps me sleep distraction free, since there are no notifications going on in the middle of the night. Also, this way I am not laying in my bed in the morning checking my social media or looking at any other notifications, because then it will have the same effect of pressing the snooze button 5 times. Not just social media, but do not check any of the YouTube or entertaining videos as well. I've seen that it just sets you up for a lazy day. Have you ever noticed that if you go for a movie in the daytime, you don't feel like working for the rest of the day? Next on the list is watching or reading negative news. Do not start the day in the morning with the news. Most of the news is negative, and that is why it is on the news. What I do instead is listen to positive affirmations. This helps create good thoughts in my mind. Listen to an audiobook while getting ready if you have to, but avoid the negative news at the start of the day like the plague. And number 8, making your bed in the morning. Many of us don't bother to make our bed in the morning, and this is a bad habit. Doing your bed in the morning first thing is not only helps your room look neat and tidy, but subconsciously gives your mind the sense of achieving something. Your mind feels it has already achieved a small task and gets prepped to take on more difficult tasks. Alright, so this is it for this week. I hope you liked this episode of the Wealth Creation series. I will bring in more ideas for financial success next week. If you did like the video, learned something new, or just enjoyed listening, please give me a thumbs up by pressing the like and subscribe button.